Should I go to the car?
Let me see if I'm- All right, and we are live. Okay, let me make sure that I make this bigger. Hey, y'all. Chris, what have you done? All right. Listen, if you can hear me firsthand, I want you to say, just type anything in the comments. You can either put the number 2 or just the deuces sign, just so that we know that you can hear us, or you can at least hear me. I want to make sure that the mic is very clear. What is this? Curious. Hey, y'all. All right, so before we get started, we definitely want to kick this thing off. We're going to talk about credit, and we're going to definitely talk about the home buying process. And I have somebody very dear, very special, and that is credible to speak to you guys in regards to the home buying process. Just from the shares, I know this is definitely something that got y'all hype. You know, most times when you're getting your credit together or trying to get your credit cleaned up, you are trying to purchase a home. And so today we're bringing you the information. Make sure that you have your pen and paper handy, get your favorite beverage, you know, get your undivided attention. That way you can get your questions answered directly here on the live. If you are new to this thing and you are like, who in the heck is this chick? Ash, you want to meet your phone real quick. If you're new to this thing and you're like, who is this chick? Well, I am Lavera Coleman. I am the CEO of Coleman Financials Credit Repair, and also I'm the CEO of Fly Boss Lifestyle. So of course, like I run multiple 6-figure businesses, and listen, I am just pretty much excited about tonight. Each and every week, we bring a professional on the live to bring you resources and information and content to help you in your everyday life in your community. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So before we get started, you guys, I'm going to touch on like the credit portion of it. First of all, if you are ready, I want you to type in the comments, ready. Also share this video, y'all. This is going to be one you want to make sure that you go back and replay. You may not get everything all in the first time you hear stuff. I don't know if you're like me. Sometimes it takes multiple times for you to hear stuff and for it to click. But you definitely want to be taking notes. So if you're driving or whatever, of course, you can listen in on us, but make sure you go back and watch the replay so that you can get clarity and you can get the steps on. So you're not missing nothing pretty much. But we're going to talk about credit. Oftentimes, when people contact me personally, they're like, hey, when I ask, hey, what are your main goals? It's like, I want to buy a house. You know, I want to buy a house. I want to get my credit cleaned up. That is a big goal. I know sometimes we want to buy us a car and all of that stuff, but that's a small time goal. But when you're trying to get investment, when you're talking about ownership, listen, that's a big thing. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, let me see, make sure I have some comments in the bottom. Okay, I do. So, all right, y'all, if y'all can hear me, make sure you're typing in the comments, and also make sure you share this video because it's about to be lit. It's about to be lit, y'all. We are definitely not holding back, and we're going to give you all the information and the steps on what does the steps look like when you are chasing home ownership, okay? So we're going to get into the whole credit issue. I said credit issue, credit spiel. Now, what is credit, y'all? A lot of times when people start to build their credit, they're like, hey, I either have no credit or I have bad credit. So I'm going to kind of touch on like what things or what habits you should be displaying if you are looking to purchase a home. Because there are certain qualities, you know, I see clients who want to purchase homes, but it's certain characteristics in them that is pretty consistent all across the board. And so I'm going to touch, I'm going to say 3. So first of all, when you are looking to even purchase a home, you are checking your credit score. So whether you're in somebody's program or whether you are, hold on, sorry. Whether you are in a program or you're checking this, you know, yourself, you're monitoring your credit to know exactly what that looks like. Oftentimes, I also see people who have not checked their credit in years, yet the first thing they've done is walk into a bank, in which I've done that. Listen, I've done that. My story 3 years ago, I thought I was ready, and a lot of people, I was one of them, prematurely walk into a bank thinking that, oh, we are ready to purchase a house because we see XYZ person do it. So listen, that's definitely not the case. Make sure you're tracking your credit scores. That's number one. You want to make sure that you are at least looking to know what your credit, is at that time. Now, when you look at it, it's either one or two things going to happen. It's either you like your credit score or you don't like your credit score. If you like your credit score, then that's where Ash is going to come in at, and I'm going to introduce her, where she's going to outline what that looks like for you. But if it is not what you would like to see, then I'm the person that you'll come to see, or some type of credit specialist that we pretty much look at your credit and see what things that are, going on. There could be multiple things. And so that is where you would get with a professional to at least see what is our game plan, what is holding me back. Now, there are some qualities. Okay. So first of all, like I said, they track their credit scores. The next thing is that they're not late on anything. If you have been late or you intend to be late within the next 24 months, then, you're not more than likely very serious about purchasing a home, because, man, late payments, they hurt, and they hurt hard. And it takes 24 months for them to stop affecting your credit score. Now, some companies or some lenders, they still factor in, that stuff. If you late, you late, that's fair game. It's on your credit report. So you want to make sure that you are not late. And I know I've been late. You probably been late, but listen, if you are in the home buying or intend to be in the home buying process, man, late payments can drop your credit score anywhere from 30 to up. I've seen up to 110 points like drop. Just recently, one client's credit score went down over 200 plus points, but it wasn't a late payment. So it's like your credit score, it can change so very quickly. So the attention to detail is going to be very important when you are building your credit, and most importantly, when you're looking to purchase a home. Also, you have multiple positive accounts. So this is important. I know a lot of times we're running from the credit cards. We're like, hey, I don't want to get a credit card. I mean, I'm scared because the first credit card I had, I maxed it out and I didn't pay it. Well, listen, building your credit is strategic, and it takes a great deal of discipline. Okay. So you're going to be tested, but you got to put safeguards in place to make sure that you get to that closing table that we're going to talk about. You got to have a great deal of discipline, because if you have discipline in your credit, you would have enough discipline enough for you to save money. That's another thing. You got to be saving some money. So, because not everybody can go into a deal not paying. Well, I don't think I've seen it. I mean, again, that's what we're going to talk about today. But you got to have some money saved to the side, and if you're wanting some type of assistance, there's still something you're going to have to pay for. So we're going to touch on the process, but those are some of the things that you want to keep up with. And when I say multiple people talking about you, you got multiple positive accounts. You got an auto loan that you're maintaining. You may have an installment account that you are maintaining, and also a credit card. You must have a major credit card. If you do not have a major credit card, y'all, you need to get you one. Okay. I'm not talking about authorized user accounts. They're awesome. However, we're talking about primary accounts. Get your own primary accounts. Some companies actually strip those authorized user accounts, and they do rescoring, and your credit score just looks like it's a lot lower than what it really is, because they're not factoring in all of the factors, all of the things that you see. So that's another thing. So make sure that, in that you have multiple types of accounts. You should have some type of major credit card. You should also have some type of installment account reporting. You should have also like auto loan, mortgage. We understand, I still don't have a mortgage on my credit right today. And so those are points that I have yet to unlock yet. However, that is a goal of mine, and I know what opportunity areas that I do have in regards to my credit. So you should have on average about 6 to 7 people or accounts that are positively reporting on your credit report. Okay. Not you paying on the charge off or collection. No, that's not the things that I'm talking about. We're talking about things that are open and active, that you get credit for, that also reports to the credit bureaus. You need as many people as you can saying, That chick right there, yeah, she pay on time. Or that dude right there, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Let me go ahead and lend credit to you. So after you pretty much gotten there, you now have a healthy credit profile. You know, I've seen people who you have high credit scores, but the health of your credit is not there. Meaning, you know, your credit score is high because you only have one or two accounts reporting on the entire credit report. No, you need to have different types of credit in order for me to properly trust you, or just this is just lenders. I need to know how you manage different types of accounts, not just how you manage credit card debt, because how you manage credit card debt may be different from how you manage, you know, a mortgage or a car auto loan. So that is one of the things. It takes a great deal of discipline for you to build your credit and attention to detail. Those little missed payments, like they do matter. And I see clients all the time where one little late payment, I tell you, if you are late one time, it makes it look like the things that I've worked on over the last 6 months, it doesn't exist. So, you know, you got to make sure that you're on time and doing your part in your process, or if you're doing it yourself, trying to build your credit score. So that is definitely important. So that was kind of like my recap. Again, if credit is still a challenge and you just have no idea where to start, then of course we do offer, you know, free consultations here at Coleman Financials. But today, it ain't about Coleman Financials. It is about the home buying process. And again, I wanted to explain that because oftentimes people get or at least contact a realtor and they're not ready to purchase a home. They're prematurely thinking that, oh, based off of my Credit Karma credit scores, I am ready to purchase a home. And they have not done the due diligence as far as, you know, I don't know, you know, what things I need to be saving for, or like it's more to it than just, hey, I checked my credit score, I'm now ready. You need to make sure that you have a team of professionals in your circle that's going to help you through this process. Okay. And of course, your realtor is not going to be the only factor in that. And I'm hoping that I can get a mortgage lender on to talk about more specifically in that area where we can kind of go a little bit deeper. But for now, I definitely wanted to, man, bring somebody to the live that is, man, she is so dear to me. She is, first of all, a good friend of mine. She's also a God-fearing woman at that. She loves what she does. We're talking about, she has been top producer in her, pretty much her niche. She was also inducted into the multi-million-dollar circle on last year, y'all. So when I tell you the chick is killing it, and on top of that, she has only been in the real estate game going on 3 years. So she did that within her first 2 years of being in this thing. So when you talk about beasts, this is a straight beast. And I love her because, again, she's my accountability partner. We get a chance to bounce ideas off. And of course, anybody that, you know, that is ready in that home buying process, I'm referring it off to her. And she's very patient and she explains it in detail and taking you by the hand. So I'm excited, y'all, that she's going to be able to deliver like just the process of home buying to us. That's so very important and it's so complex. And she's going to outline what does that look like when the buyer is, or a potential buyer is now contacting her and ready to begin the process. What is the process? I know a lot of people like, I don't even know where to start. So that is where our professional, our top producer. So I definitely want to introduce to some, or reintroduce to some, and present to others, none other than top producer, Ashley Edwards. Are you there, girl? If you can hear me, hold up. Let me make sure she is if she's connected. Hold up. You gotta bring me back on. Okay, here it is. All right, hold up. Ashley, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Let me see about getting this video back up.
Hold on. Let me see if that works.
Okay, so oh man. All right. So I am on. However, this is, y'all bear with us. We having a time with this
This
camera.
Zoom. Yeah.
So I am going to rejoin on my phone.
Okay.
I'll let you know when it's
Y'all,
on.
so bear with us. Ashley's gonna come back. She's logging out. You know, with technology, sometimes you get that. But I'm telling you, the information is going to be amazing. So definitely share this video, y'all. Share this video. Whether you are ready or not in the home buying process, you definitely need this information because you need to know what are the steps. Oftentimes, we don't move sometimes because the lack of information. So definitely bear with us. We thank you guys for just even being on the, let's see, hold on our live. Okay, there you go. Ash, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I need to turn my video on, so I need you to,
Okay, here we go. I have promoted you to panelist. So
all right,
if you can,
that. Okay, I don't see it now. Oh,
okay.
Y'all bear with us.
Oh, geez. Okay. Let's see if I can promote you to, because I think what happens is once you promote them to, once you start the live, it may not let me promote you to host. I think in host, can you see that now? I just did something different. See if you see anything.
Okay, yep, that
There
works.
you go. Yeah.
That works. Woo. Okay,
Tell me what God won't do. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Before you come, I got to make sure I properly bring you back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Bougie and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
All right, y'all. So first of all, I definitely wanted to bring my sister. Listen, this woman, she is amazing at what she does. She wears many hats, and I didn't mention that she wears many hats, including mom, wife, woman of God, girl boss, fly boss, all of that. Listen. Also, she was inducted into the multi-million-dollar club last year, y'all. That is big within her first 2 years of being in the industry. Okay. That is amazing. Can you say amazing? Also, she's God-fearing. She loves what she does, and she's very patient, y'all, and making sure that she explains things. So I definitely wanted to present or represent to some and introduce to others none other than my sis, my accountability and boss lady, Ashley Edwards. Can you hear me, Chick?
Hey, so I can most definitely hear you. Girl, thank you. Thank you. You definitely brought me on like a boss.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hey to everybody out there. Thank y'all for joining in on the live today. This is definitely going to be some information that you are going to want to retain, write down, and just keep it overall because for the most part, it's going to stay the same in regards to buying a house. Some things will change, especially with what's going on with this COVID-19. But for the most part, it's general information, really good information that you're going to want to have. So what I would first say, because Lavera hit on some really great pieces in regards to credit. So if you're already there with your credit, so you're 600 or better, you want to be at least a 620 when buying a home. You can buy with a lower credit score. I wouldn't recommend it because your interest rate will be higher. However, if you're at least at 620 and up, then I would say that you are ready to buy a home as long as you don't have any late payments. That's a major thing. You can't have any late payments as long as you're paying all your bills on time and you're just maintaining a good credit score. I would say you're in a position to, hey, I want to get some information. I'm thinking about buying a house. Now, if you aren't there, don't feel bad. Don't get overwhelmed. That just means you got a little bit of work to do, but it's not impossible. So I wanna jumpstart by saying by talking about what this process looks like for you. So the first thing you would want to do, of course, if you're thinking about buying a house, you probably don't know what to do. You're like, okay, I'm gonna make a Facebook post. I need a realtor. I've seen this so much within the last year. I need a realtor. I need a realtor. And it's simply saying, I don't know where to start. So I would say that starting by getting a realtor would be one of your first steps. And the reason I say that is because of the partnerships that we form to make sure that you have a strong team to get you to the closing table. So we know some things that you don't, and we know how to get you to the right people and put you in the right hands without you getting overwhelmed and stressed out in the beginning. So the first step I would say would be to get a realtor. Some people go ahead and get pre-approved, and that's fine as well. You're just doing it a little different, but you will still need to get a realtor. Some people have done this without a realtor, and they'll probably tell you they'll never do that again. That's just like saying, I need a surgery done, but I'm not going to go to a doctor. I'm going to do it myself. I don't dibble and dabble in cars because I'm not a mechanic. So I would say, make sure you get with the professional that is going to do what they have, what they specialize in. That they're going to say, hey, I specialize in this. Don't stress. Don't lose any sleep. I got you. Once you get you a realtor, if you have not gotten pre-approved, that will definitely be your next step. You want to know, how much can I afford? Because just because the bank says that I can afford $200,000 does not mean that I want to spend it. So you need to know, in regards to your budget that you have now, what is going to be comfortable for you, because you don't want your mortgage to be your livelihood. And when I say that, I mean, you don't want to have to stop the luxuries of your life now. Like if you get your nails and your toes done, or, you go out at least twice a month to the movies and dinner, whatever, before all this COVID-19 stuff. You don't want to have to stop that just to be able to afford your house. You want to be comfortable. You want to still be able to travel and do this, that, and the other. So right now, with all this kind of being shut down, y'all should be sitting on some funds. Y'all should most definitely have your traveling money put up, your movie and date night money put up, because we're having to be a little bit creative with that. Most people just traveling from the front of their house to the back, So with that being said, save your money while you can, especially if you're wanting to buy a house, because you're going to need it. So that takes me into what I want to tell you guys next. And if I'm moving too fast, you guys just let Vera know. She'll slow me down a little bit, because when I get really excited, I tend to talk fast. So
You're
the
doing
next thing
good,
I'm good. Okay. So the next thing I want to recommend to you guys is have some money up front. And when I say you're going to need some money up front before you even get to the closing table, this is what I mean. So write this down. Make sure you guys write this down. This is important information. When you are first looking for a home, you may hear your realtor say you're going to need some earnest money, and that's just good faith money. That's saying, I'm serious about this house. I'm going to put a contract on it, and this is the quote unquote deposit that I'm putting down until we can go through with the loan. So you're going to need, depending on how much you're buying, if you're buying 100,000, we usually say 1% is good. Some people will let you put down $500 worth of earnest money, but normally you'll put 1% of the sales price. So if it's 100,000, you're going to put $1,000 up. Now keep in mind, this $1,000 will go toward your purchase price as long as you're within the rights of your contract. If you get outside of your contingencies, and I'll give you guys a few explanations. As long as you're within your contingencies, your earnest money will go towards your purchase price. Now, if you say, hey, I don't want this house anymore, and it's 3 days before closing, and you have no justifiable reason as to why you don't want this house, you just don't want it, you're probably going to lose that earnest money. So y'all make sure when you're putting a contract on a home, you are sure about this investment. You are as sure as you can be about this investment. And you're not just doing it because, oh, this first house I've seen, I love it, up, let's get it. You're trying to beat somebody to the punch. No, make sure you actually love it. I tell my clients, it doesn't have to be 100% of what you're looking for, but at least let it be 75 to 80%, because nothing is going to be 100% unless you have an endless budget, a custom builder, exactly where you want it. it's just not going to be that way, especially when you're buying a pre-existing home. So make a list of what you're wanting in a house because nothing is not going to be 100%. So the next fee.
Hey Ash, we can't hear you. I don't know if it's your phone kind of went out, but it looks like I can't hear what you're saying if you're saying something. I know you're saying something because I hear your mouth, you going in, but I can't hear we can't hear you anymore. For some reason it dropped. Ashley. Hold on, y'all. She was going in some good information again. Make sure you're sharing this video, y'all. Man, she dropped a whole lot of nuggets on us at one time. Let's see what she says. No, she maybe it was her phone. All right, let's see. Can you hear?
Are you?
But call on the phone line, making sure.
Oh, can y'all hear me?
No, you went straight like, hey, we couldn't hear you. You was going in. I think you hit mute.
Oh no. Okay, so y'all can hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you
Of course.
now.
Okay.
I had to call a
Okay.
friend. I'm calling you. So
Okay, I
can
was
we
like, what's going
answer
on?
some questions before we? That's okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wiggle in some questions. I believe there are some
Okay.
questions that they wanted to get answered anyway before you, because you was going in, girl. I was over here
Oh.
writing me some notes. What are some of the questions that I do have? Let me see. What do I
Okay.
have on here? Chris, you got one right away. A question.
Question is couples. What about the credit score for couples?
One of the questions, Ash, it says, what are the credit scores with the couples? What are the score requirements? Is it just one that needs to be on point, or both? Both parties have to be. I guess could you kind of touch on that part for us?
Yeah. So the only way you would need to have both spouses, husband and wife, or however you want to do it, both credit scores is if you're going to be using both income. If you're only going to use one income, you only need the credit score of that person. And here's the thing. Since you are married, you will go on the deed. Make sure your realtor writes it up in the contract that you're married and you're going on the deed as well. But you don't have to go on the loan application. Now, if both of you guys want to go on the loan application, then you both need to meet that minimum credit score. Now, keep in mind, they're also going to look at your DTI. So along with your credit score, they're going to look at your debt to income ratio. So both of you guys need to have a good debt to income ratio. And that will be a more in-depth conversation with the lender because they know those exact percentages that they're looking for.
Right. Okay, got it. I heard that right. She just pretty much said that, in order for the only time that the both of you guys' credit have to be on, above that 620 or better that she touched on, is if you guys are needing the income, both of you all needing the income, meaning if you are looking to purchase a home that is, a little bit more, you get more, I guess, out of your loan, right, Ash? So if they're looking to,
Right.
let's say, by themselves, they can get approved for, 200,000, and with both of them, they may be able to get, of course, a slightly higher, loan amount where they can get an even nicer home. I guess that's the scenario I do see couples go in, right?
Correct.
Now, Ashley, do they have to be married? I know you're probably not
No. So, well, if they want to be on the deed, yes. Unless now, if you want to go on the deed and you're not married, then that is a separate process that you would have to take, or either you do go on the loan.
okay.
If you're not married and you want to go on the deed, and I could be getting this wrong because this is a legal question, and we'll always advise you to talk to your legal attorney or your real estate attorney but to my knowledge, you would quit claim it after the process so that that person could be on the deed. So if both, but the easier way to do it is if you're not married and you're both wanting to go on the deed, go on the application, the loan application for the home.
Okay. So also you don't want to touch on deed. All right, so we're gonna go back to like you were killing it. You were telling us about it. I think you left off on the escrow money and thinking about the earnest
Okay.
money and all of that. That's what we were. And then if you can take us back there, and then as we get more questions, after our next point, we'll kind of work those questions in. That way we're answering the questions throughout the live. But man, you are killing it, giving us a lot of value in that. And so if you can pick up. Okay. Oh, and make sure you guys are participating in the games. We got some games going on now. Is there certain things that they need to do? Make sure you tag 3 people in this actual live, okay? And then also make sure you share this live. There may be somebody on your timeline who need this information that may not be quite ready to purchase a home, but we got some things going on. So make sure you're participating, and we got some things for you. All right, Ash, take us away.
Okay. So what I was saying, once you have your escrow money, your earnest money, that $1,000 set to the side, make sure you have your money for your due diligence. And that's the money for your home inspection, your termite inspection, all of that. So I would say roughly about $500 for that. So right now you have $1,500 put up. That's going to be upfront money. And I'm going to tell you when I'm going to need it. And then you'll have that $500 for your appraisal. Now, this is for a licensed appraiser to come out and assess the property, your potential new home, assess that property, make sure it's up to value of the loan that you're trying to get. Now, if it is not up to loan value, then we'll have to renegotiate the sales price in the contract. And we'll talk about that when I talk about negotiations. So upfront, I would say roughly about $2,000. Now, if you're trying to buy $300,000 and $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 house, keep in mind that earnest money is not going to be $1,000. It's going to be 1% of that sale price. 1% of that sales price. So if it's $300,000, you're looking at $3,000. And of course, your inspections will probably be more because you're probably going to have more square footage to cover. And your appraisal, now your appraisal may still be $500. It goes up and down depending on who the appraisal company is. But generally, it's about $500. But keep in mind, if you're running a bigger house, you're probably going to need more money up front, and we can go over that on a one-on-one basis. So this is the money. When I say upfront, I'm not meaning, okay, you called me and said, hey, I want you to be my realtor. Now do I give you this $3,000? No, I don't hold any money. Your money is always held in escrow at the attorney's office. What I mean by this is once we find the house that you love, the house that you want to put a contract on, I say, hey, in about 24 hours, I will need to collect earnest money from you. Now you have about 5 business days, but the sooner the better, because the market that we're in is so aggressive. Sometimes sellers are like, if I don't have earnest money, I don't want to sell it, blah, blah, blah. So to keep all that from happening, I just go ahead and collect it right away. Let's go ahead and get started on our quick timeline. And that's the timeline for your inspections and ordering the appraisal. So I say within 24 hours, you turn in your earnest money, and then we'll schedule inspections with the inspector of your choice. And then your lender will email you or call you to order your appraisal. So I say within your first week, I've seen it used to be 2 weeks in my book, but now everything is moving so fast. I say within your first week, you need to have those funds ready to go and to be liquidated. Okay. So that is the beginning of the process. All right. So now we're going to get into, go ahead.
So Ash, I was about to say, so they can literally be ready to go. Like you said, in the process, you have seen it. Like, what's the fastest, I guess, turnaround time that you've seen, a client go from start to finish?
Oh my God.
I know you said.
Yes. So literally, you guys, and it all depends on lender. It all depends on client. This is not everybody's story. So let me just put this disclaimer out. I had a client who was, when the lender called and needed anything, she was dropping it like that within minutes. And so the sooner you turn your things in, the sooner they can work your documents. The longer you take, the longer it's going to take for them to get your documents taken care of and submitted to underwriting. So what I would say, the quickest turnaround I've seen from under contract to close was 13 days. And I just closed a client. We closed, I want to say last week or the week before we closed, and her file took 13 days.
Wow.
And I was like, yes, wow. And like I said, that's because she was on point. Once we went under contract, I got her earnest money. We did the home inspection. The appraisal came back quick, and it was pretty much ready to go. Now, if your file is a little bit more complicated, it may take a little bit longer. So you're looking at generally about 30 days, depending on the lender. It could be longer because some lenders are taking a little bit more time with this COVID-19, like USAA. They're taking a little bit more time.
Yeah.
But they're still getting it done. So I would say 30 to 45 days is the normal. If you're having a few complications or need extensions, it may take longer than that. But we try not to have those things happen.
Well, listen, y'all, and the beauty about it is, as far as this is after your credit is already together, and and I'm gonna bring you guys the hoping that no matter where your credit scores are, good, bad, you are able to get back on track and purchase a home within the next year. You just have to. One thing she talked about was the quality. She said that the person was on point. She was sending things back, which meant it took attention to detail in that. So she was serious. So man, this is consistent. You got to make sure you are on point when you are seriously wanting to do something. There's nothing that you won't do. You got to make sure that you're on point. So I'm just gonna give it back to you, Ash. I'm taking notes. I'm gonna mute my mic and let you keep rolling because you are killing it, girl.
You crazy. So do we have any questions so far? Has anybody said anything about the process before you get into the actual contract of it?
Yep. So someone asked the question is, if you're looking to hire a realtor, should you already have the home, the house, I guess already a home in mind, or you?
No, you don't.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't say that you have to have a home in mind. I think you need to be serious about the process and making the decision that, hey, I'm ready to be a homeowner. Because we as realtors, we take our career extremely serious. And I know you guys coming to us are taking that time and that decision making extremely serious. So I would say be on the same page with the realtor and knowing, hey, I want to become a homeowner. I don't have to know where. I wouldn't say that you need to know the house, like it's this house right here on this corner. It doesn't have to be there. Just have the decision made up in your mind that you're ready to buy a house and you're ready to do the work to get the house.
It's some work, y'all. I hope y'all are ready for it because it's going to take
work. It's some work, but it's worth it. Let me say this: home ownership is not just given to anyone. It is a reward to those who diligently diligently seek it out, like seriously. It's a reward for those that are credit worthy, that know how to budget. It is truly that reward. So it's not just given to anybody. So no, it comes with some work, but it's work that you are willing to put in, and it's going to be well worth it in the end.
Ashley, could you touch on this for me? Could you talk to them about the difference between renting versus buying? I know a lot of times we got, management companies, out here that are managing properties, and some people are actually going through realtors to get rental properties. So could you touch on the difference between, just renting versus buying?
So of course, everybody knows, when you purchase a home, you are purchasing this home as your sole ownership. Whether you're doing it as a owner, occupant, or an investor or whatever, you're purchasing it as your property. When you're renting a home, you're simply saying, hey, I want to pay you this money to stay here for X amount of time. And this money goes to nothing for my benefit, except for I get to use the space for X amount of days as long as I'm paying this money. If you don't pay your rent on time, you're getting put out. If you don't pay your mortgage on time, you at least, I've seen some people get 6 months before they go into a foreclosure. Even though no one wants a foreclosure, things do happen, but there's also things put in place to make sure that a foreclosure doesn't happen. So you have more banks that are lenient to making sure that you can stay in your home, because they don't want your loan, they don't want your house, they just want you to pay the money that you said you was going to pay. Versus a rental property, oh, I got somebody else lined up to get it, you know. So the process of being put out of one or the other is quite different. So I would say there's a lot of differences with renting versus buying. Now, the benefit of renting, you don't have to worry about the maintenance. You're supposed to have someone to come in and maintain your home. However, you have some people that rent and still have to worry about maintenance. And I say that's quite foolish, because if you're doing that and you're paying money that's going out the window to you, but in someone else's pocket, and you're still having to maintain the home, you might as well be owning your own home, especially with the rate of rent. A lot of people, now this is a myth that I want to correct. A lot of people think I can rent, let me give one area. I can rent in Cordova for $1,400, but I can buy in Cordova for $800. That no longer exists. I want to clear that up. You can definitely purchase in Cordova for $1,100 versus having to pay $1,400 and $1,500 for the same house. However, that $1,100 is going towards your ownership. At some point, you will outright own this home if you pay your mortgage off. If you're paying rent, I know people that have paid rent for years and years, and they've paid the mortgage for that investor or that landlord, and they're still having to pay that every day with no ownership. You don't even own the soil. I know people that think, oh, I can go out and plant me a garden, have me a garden. And you probably do, but you didn't do it right because you don't own the ground. You're supposed to ask permission for that when you're renting. When you own your home, you can do what you want with your yard. If you want to put a hole in it, you can. You're probably going to get fined if you have an HOA, but you can most definitely do it. So those are just some of the differences between renting versus buying.
Man, when you think about the amount of money that you spend renting, and I know right now I'm month to month because I got plans on building my own home, but the amount of money that I spend on renting, it hurts your feelings when you do do the math. And you're right, like, man, that's the goal. It's like all the money that I'm wasting on this could be placed on my own, man. And some of us, we fix the rental, we fix the rental up like it is ours. You know, we may have, like you said, go get, we putting fancy stuff, we paint walls, we doing quite a bit. So man, we're adding value to somebody else's property, right?
Most definitely. And I say this, renting is not a bad thing. I've before we bought our home, we rented a house. You have to do what you have to do for the meantime, but don't let it be a forever thing. You know, and here's the thing, when you die, there's no way you can leave that rental property to your kids. Yeah. That is absolutely, that should hit you heavier than anything. I can't leave this to my baby. I will be leaving them no wealth in regards to real estate if I'm just a forever renter. When you own your home, you definitely can. They can split that up. They can sell the house and get the money off of it however they want to do it. It becomes their wealth at that moment. So don't make rental a long-term thing. It needs to be a stepping stone.
So that where you start, y'all. Let's see what else. Do I have some questions? I'm looking at the questions.
Okay. While she's looking at questions, I want to say I'm thankful that you guys are getting on to get this wealth of knowledge. This is major. Not a lot of people go into the home buying process with any knowledge. They go in and they have questions, and sometimes they may even go through the entire process still with questions. So this is amazing that y'all decided to get on here and at least say, okay, where do I start? I have questions. Let me get just the teeniest bit of information to see what I need to be doing to make sure that I can achieve this goal. So this is major.
Also, I think there's a question in regards to building versus buying, I guess, a home that is already, built. Is the
Yeah.
process different for those type of, agreements, or at least those loans?
For the loans, I would say no. The one of the main difference in the loans for a pre-existing to a new construction is the time. So of course it's going to take you. It could take new construction 4 to 8 months, depending on the size, depending on the builder, just for completion. However, pre-existing, you just go in and do your due diligence, let the loan officer work the loan, work the application, and pretty much close on the house. So there's one difference. The other difference would have to be, so let me say one of the similarities with buying a new construction and a pre-existing, you're still going to do inspections. So even though your I'm sorry, y'all, I just lost my train of thought. I seen some pop on the screen. So even though you're getting a brand new house versus a pre-existing, you're still going to get your inspections done. So that is still going to be a part of your process. The difference is just going in. You get to pick out. Now, if you're buying from like Regency or Grant, you get to pick out, different cosmetic things in the house. You don't really get to change the structure of the home. But if you have a custom builder, that will be different. You get to do all of that. You get to choose kind of driveway you want, the structure, the elevation, how many windows you want. So you get to really design your home if you have your own custom builder.
Also asked, like, if that sounds amazing. Also, like, even when I went to view a house that was a new I guess a new construction, like, why don't more people do the new construction versus just the pre-existing? Because I know an issue right now is, we got more buyers out there than we have homes. Is that right? Like,
Right.
What is some of the things that you notice that the reason why people don't choose to do the new construction route versus just doing the pre-existing?
I would say one of the main things that I've seen in my experience would have to be timeline, and then price. So new constructions are a little bit more pricey versus a pre-existing in regards to square footage. So, for example, you can go to Fountain Brook and get a, let's say, 2,200 square foot home for about $270,000 versus you can get a 3,000 square foot home for about the same price around the corner, if it's available. So I would say in regards to new construction and pre-existing, a lot of people will go towards pre-existing timeline. Now, if they have the time and they want something newer, open concept, they may go towards new construction. And if they're not worried about the price. So you'll have a base price, but once you go to the design studio and start selecting your cabinet, shower, just different things in the house, fireplace, patio, it can get pricey.
Now, there was a question asked, like, is there any extra cash needed? I guess outside of, you talked about the earnest money or the investment money that you place on the front end. Is there anything in addition, like, that they need to prep for savings wise throughout the process that they need to make sure they have placed to the side?
Yeah. So I would so aside from that, and we're gonna get into that, I want to jump into the contract. So you're gonna have, if you're doing an FHA loan, you're gonna have the loan percentage is 96.5. So that means that other 3.5% you're gonna have to bring to the table, and that's your deposit or your down payment. So of course, that earnest money will be deducted from that, but you would still need overall that 3.5%. Now, there are some products, some FHA products, and they've kind of paused it for now, but they still do exist, that are in-home products where you can get a 100% FHA loan and you won't have to bring your down payment. However, because of the times that we're in right now, they've kind of halted that because lenders and investors have to pick those up, and they're not really doing it because of the risk. So outside of having your down payment, you will also need about 3.5% in closing costs. Now, your closing costs, you can definitely, in the contract, ask for your sellers to pay some of your closing costs. I've seen it happen, and I've seen it where they say we're not paying any closing costs, so you're at the liberty of the seller. However, they can help you with it. But overall, you need about 3.5%. So I would say a total of 7% of the sales price you would need in funds for cash to close, just right now, because we're not seeing a time right now today where THDA is giving out money, or you have programs that are assisting with closing costs. They may still exist, but not as much as they did back in like December. So a lot of buyers are having to bring their own money to the table right now. So keep that in mind, write that down. I need to have at least 7% of the sales price. Now, here's a thing that I see a lot of my buyers do, and this is it's a great opportunity if you have it available. You can borrow from your 401k with no penalty. They don't let you take the whole thing out, but they will let you take out a percentage in regards to your home contract, the contract that you have on the house. So they'll look at the sale price and look at pretty much your cash to close, what you'll need, and you can borrow against your 401k for that.
Wow. That's a nugget right there. So, and not be penalized. Of course, like she said, she's
Right.
not an expert in that area. That's, she's, that's something else. Just make sure that you advise, your financial
Your
advisor.
lender will advise you.
Yeah.
Yeah, your lender can, any finance and money questions, I will always say, I don't care who it is, your realtor should always direct you back to your lender, because we didn't get a license in finance. So I don't want to advise you illy on something and then I'm in the wrong and we have a problem because of my advice. So I'm going to always direct you back to the legal expert or the expert in that area. So whether it's finance, whether it's legal, home inspection, I'm going to always tell you to talk to that person.
Well, listen, y'all, Ashley has been giving some real deal gems on this thing, and I'm excited. Now we're gonna answer, was that your last point, Ash? Because I was about to say I'm gonna let you answer one more, and then they're gonna have to see you in the She Cave. They're gonna have to see you in the She Cave.
I know. Y'all gonna have to see me in the She Cave. Call me personally. Lavere is going to give out my information into how you can contact me. But I want to talk about this in regards to purchasing a home. So I want to talk about the contract for a little bit, because I think a lot of people, sometimes we can just get caught up and we'll just start signing stuff. Signing. So you need to know what's in the contract, and you need to know how you're protected. So there's contracts for everything. You're going to have a contract for your realtor. And this is just saying, it's laying out the fiduciary duties that we have for you guys. It's going to tell you how we can serve you, when we can serve you. And I also want to talk about open houses. Right now, they're a little different because of COVID-19, but these are opportunities for you guys in the public to go and kind of get some ideas of what the houses on the market look like and how much you can get for your money. So you need to know that you need to see what you like and what you don't like. You need to make a list of what you like and what you don't like. You need to make a list of where you want to live that is for you. Don't keep up with anybody. Don't try to, oh, my cousin did this, so I'm going to do this. No, do what works for your family. Do what works for you, because at the end of the day, your cousin not going to pay your mortgage. You're going to pay your mortgage. So about the contract, let's talk about the contract. So in the contract is a few things. This is where we're going to outline how much you're willing to pay for this property. This is where we're going to say how much of a loan you're putting on this property and the timeline you want for this property, along with the the names on the deed, your closing date, the time you're wanting to do your inspections, who's going to close for you. So you need to know all of this information in there. You don't just need to let your realtor put who they want to. This is your time to have a say-so. This is your time. The entire process, you get to have a say-so. And we definitely need it during the contract part, because this is the front end of the deal. And this is where your lender's getting information. This is where the underwriters are getting information, your title company, the realtors. We get all the information from the contract. So I want to tell you this, everything, and I do mean everything, is negotiable. If you want to negotiate some furniture with this house, you can negotiate it. If you want to negotiate purchase price, you can negotiate it. You don't have to do just what they say the house is listed for $265. You don't have to give them $265. You can offer them lower. You can offer them more. It's up to you. Now, you will be advised in regards to market activity, and especially if you're having multiple offers. Now, if you're having multiple offers, your realtor may advise you. They can't tell you what to do. They may advise you to offer a little bit more or pay your own closing costs, or they'll just help you to structure the contract a little bit more attractively. Let me say that. So, contract, you get to have a say. So no to another
Hey,
realtor.
you're breaking up. Just I want to make sure you knew that. For some reason, your phone
I
is going
did.
in and out.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. I think because my finger was over the speaker. So anyways, I'm gonna just kind of go back over what I said real quickly. You get to have a say-so in the contract. Make sure your realtor is negotiating and fighting for you. Okay. Now, another thing that I wanted to outline, a lot of people know what an open house is. And for those of you that don't know what an open house is, an open house is an opportunity for you as a buyer to go in. You can go in with your realtor or without your realtor. It's open to the public. You get to ask questions. You get to view this property just to see, what the property is. You can run comps, and also just to see what you like and what you don't like in the house. Now, with COVID-19 going on, there are open houses still going on. They just look a little different. You may have to schedule an appointment to come in. They have to wear gloves and masks, but they still exist. Is everybody following me? We good?
Yeah, we follow. Yep, we following you.
Okay.
Let me make sure I got. Let me check for questions.
So far?
I'm about to check the questions.
This is a lot of information. Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to we're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna give your
Okay.
contact information for anybody that would like to, I guess, schedule a time or a session with you. Again, serious people only, y'all. We're talking about somebody that is, top producer. She's very, very serious about not just her time, but her coins. Okay. So you want to make sure that if you do have questions that you're really serious about this thing. Okay. And then also she's going to be one of our very first presenters in the She Cave. So I'm excited, just to be connected to her, because just the information that she gave today, it shed light on the general concept, but there's more. Of course, there's always more. And again, you're gonna have to visit the She Cave to find out, the more in-depth stuff. But it was enough for you to get, a clear understanding of what things you should be doing. If your credit is not where it needs to be, we got to start there first. But if you've already, taken care of the, necessary steps, then you may be ready to contact Ashley. And so we're going to drop her information in the comments. That way you have her website. You also have her email address to contact her directly. Now, of course, because she is a busy professional, if you call her, more than likely, you may not get an answer right away. So just make sure that you leave some type of message, or that you email her. We're checking our emails like our text messages nowadays. as business women, we know we can't keep our phone dead for too long because we about that dollar. So now, do you have any last minute advice? Like if you had to go out and just give them some type of advice, Ashley, what would that be? Like a person that is looking to, I guess, purchase a just to purchase a home, what's the best advice that you would give them before we wrap?
I would say have your options open. Don't just, don't be closed off to other areas. I would say have your first choice, second choice, third choice of location, but a location that works for you, that's not forcing you out of your comfort zone. So definitely open yourself up to other options. And the reason I say that is because our inventory is not as lucrative as it was 4 and 5 years ago.
And you did touch and say, you did say 75 to 80% of what you want, because I would imagine that
Yes.
you want to be able to find, 100%, like you like every single thing in the house. So when you did mention 75 to 80%, there, hey, as long as you like it enough, where it has at least the features that you want, at least 75 to 80% of it, then more than likely that is going to be one of your choices. It doesn't necessarily have to be your first choice, but like Ashley said, your first, second, and third option. And I've seen it where, where people, they only have one house in mind, and, bam, someone else comes in with a better offer or whatever. And all of a sudden now we don't have anything else, to kind of pull from. Now we're starting back from, from the drawing board, right?
Yep. So, and the reason, and I'll keep this short. The reason I say make a list and know what you want, know what your deal breakers are, know Not like, no, all of this is my deal breaker. No, know what your deal breakers are. And the reason I say have your list is simply because you can modify your home to your taste. You can change whatever you want to change when you get in there. One thing you can't modify is location. So I truly know the location that you want to be in, and don't move or shake on that. But house-wise, if it doesn't have the chrome molding that you're looking for or the smooth ceilings that you just gotta have, it's okay. We can modify those things because you're gonna be in here not for a year or two, but this is a long-term investment, and you can be in here for 5 and 10 years, and you can add value to your home.
Well, Ash, we definitely want to say thank you so much, because you've taken an hour out of your day to come and man, you were amazing. She came to this thing, y'all, and gave y'all some real deal. Your notebooks should be filled. If it's not, then you may want to go back and watch the replay, because she gave some really, really, really valuable information that you're able to work through, without having to contact that. It just starts with you, your brain, and your effort. Of course you have, people and professionals in your circle that's going to help you through the process. But in that, you got enough information to know exactly what the process goes. Of course, there are different things that changes, throughout the process. Those are the details of it. But the general, the frame of how it works is, what we were able to bring to you guys today. So Ash, we just want to thank you so much just for, coming here and taking the time out your day, because again, the home buying process can be very complex. And, when you think about it, you get, really nervous. You just don't know where to start. So having, people in your seat, I always tell even my credit repair, my students, like, you want to be in, you got to have people in your circle, in your seat. So to make sure that you have a team of people that are working in your favor. So I thank you for being as in my circle, for me to be able to think about what realtor that I am around that can bring value to my actual following. And I thank you for that.
No problem. It was a pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
You are more than welcome. And again, I am definitely gonna see you in the She Cave. So y'all,
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
not gonna hold Ashley, we're not gonna hold you. We're gonna let you go because I know you have spent already an hour of your day with us, and we thank you for that. And I'm going to stay on here just to get any last minute questions. And I will also be directing anybody that require your information to go ahead and contact you directly, because man, just from the shares and likes and the participation in this is one of the hottest topics people want to know about right about now.
All right. Well, I look forward to speaking to you guys. Y'all have a blessed evening.
All right, y'all. Well, bye, Ash.
Bye.
Listen, I hope y'all got a great deal of value from that, because man, even my paper is completely filled. There was some nuggets, and if your paper is not filled, you need to go back and watch the replay, like I said. But make sure you share this video, y'all. When there are professionals that taking the time out of their day to at least bring you some information, man, use it. A lot of times, even with our credit situation, we fall victim because we didn't have knowledge. And so when you do have knowledge and resources, make sure you're using them. And so share this video, whether you're watching the replay. Also, what I want you to do is I want you to type in the comments where you're actually watching the replay from. Where are you calling from? Where are you chiming in? Is it Memphis? Is it, Texas? Where are you? Because we are expecting this to bless not just people here in our inner city, but to bless people all around. And so if you are watching this thing, make sure you're commenting where you're actually chiming in from. And if you've gotten value from this thing, just make sure that you also, if you've gotten any value from this, make sure you share that. You said. Also, y'all, just a reminder, this is just for my fly bosses. And again, my fly bosses, if you are here, who are my fly bosses? Those are the women who have any type of desire to either start a business, or if you already are an entrepreneur. Listen, the She Cave is going down on Thursdays. This Thursday, we will not have a She Cave because we're working on something amazing. Okay. The pre-sale for the actual She Cave journals. We got journals. You should be able to place all of your content or your notes in one section, and it's really fly. Okay. So the pre-sale comes from that as well. And again, you guys get pins. So just make sure that you are looking out for that. You'll get an opportunity to register for the next She Cave, which is going to be on May the 28th. May the 28th, we're taking it in the cave, so it is no longer public. You all will get the opportunity to make sure you register for that webinar, okay? No men allowed. Let me scream. No men allowed. Listen. So, and that's how we're gonna take it in. We're gonna take it into the cave, because again, with it being public, women, men, all of us kind of chiming in. But listen, we're gonna bring it in where women can really express and talk about business and life, okay? Because my story was this, y'all. For a long time, I was very muted and I could not get the things that I desired in my mind out. But I have now mastered that, and I want to make sure I help women in general level up, just level up. The goal is 1,000 bosses all around, and we will get there. I have a vision for this, y'all. So y'all stick with me. Make sure that you're participating and you're utilizing this information. We're going to talk about some of everything in the She Cave, and we're going to have giveaways in the She Cave. Y'all going to have things that build your business. It may be an app. You may get a mic. You may get an email campaign. You may get an iPhone. You may get some of everything in the She Cave, but it's going to be all things that lead back to you building that empire that you're looking to build, y'all. So again, I am Lavera Coleman of Coleman Financials Credit Repair. I am also the CEO of Flyboss Lifestyle. So I am so excited to be able to bless and be in position to bless many people just off of the information that I have been able to acquire to run my businesses. So I am logging off. If I don't have any questions, I don't think I can see y'all questions anyway, because this screen is doing some crazy stuff. So if I get off of this thing and I see some questions, I will make sure that I reach out to you guys. But again, I will get the links. Your Sheet Cake journals go on pre-sale very soon. You said what? On Friday. I'm sorry. On Friday, my marketing team, sometimes they try to keep things from me. So yeah, on Friday is the 22nd, I think. May the 22nd, that's when pre-sale start. Again, that is also when the do-it-yourself course, it launches on the 22nd. I'm sorry. So make sure you're looking out for that. If you've already purchased it, you can make sure that you're checking your email, because you will get your access. You get a 6-month access to the actual course, and it's a guided course where you're able to get letters and information on the steps of how to fix your own credit. So again, if you're looking for my information, I can be reached at lavera@colemanfinancials.com. Or if you're a fly boss and you're looking to reach me, you hit me up at flybosslifestyle@gmail.com. So I'm out of this thing and I'm ending this live. I enjoyed this live so very much. And this is definitely not the end. Next week, I got somebody that is amazing. She specifically focuses in on budgets. So I've heard you guys, a lot of y'all got issues with saving your coins. I kind of, tell you how to do some things, but listen, this is a beast. This is a person who solely do this for a living. And she is going to come to this thing, and she's going to also give you a couple of free gifts that you're able to walk away from the live. So I hope you guys are ready. This is an entire movement. This is a movement, y'all. This is going to be epic. Mark my word. This is what, the 19th of May, and was it the 19th? No, the 18th of May. You mark my word. This is going to be one of the biggest projects that I've managed on my own, but it's going to bless a lot of people, y'all. So I'm chiming out of this thing. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure that you share this video. Share this video, y'all. Peace and love, y'all. I'm out.